Hello everyone, it's One of a Kind. So today I'm going to be covering the object of three different games. One called Infinity Blade. Now, Infinity Blade was a very old game in a while. It was like one of the very popular games where you could like basically explore the world of the land of Infinity Blade. You could fight monsters, enemies, different boss battles. It was basically a story-based game, an RPG, which and back in the day, it was really popular on the App Store, but later on the App Store got rid of it, and basically because I don't know why, but it was probably for money and other stupid reasons. But other than that, the game featured was about basically the protagonist being a immortal man who would basically, every time he fought or every time he died from a boss or an enemy, he would re-wake up in the same chamber all over again with his memories resetted. And so you played as this character, and your goal is to find the Infinity Blade, which basically is a special legendary blade. And it was basically, the Infinity Blade was basically the key to everything, to ending the endless cycle of coming back to life and having the protagonist live a normal life. But the game was made by the same developers who made Fortnite, which was, as you know, a very popular battle royale game. But other than that, it was a really fun game. You can really rarely find the game now these days, since it's no longer the App Store. It's no longer on the App Store. But I'm pretty sure if you go to specific different places, they might have arcades of it. Alright, next game is called Brave Frontier. This game was probably one of my favorite games, one of my favorite RPG games, and it was basically about the protagonist is you. You are basically called a summoner, an entity called a summoner, and basically you summon all these different units to fight by your side in battle. And you could evolve your units to make them stronger, do all this kind of fun shenanigans, and story plot. I don't really remember the story anymore, just because it's been a very long time, and the App Store kind of ruined the game. Or it's just basically abandoned the game now these days. It didn't ruin the game, more as it just abandoned it, and it's no longer playable. Where now they have a sequel of it called Brave Frontier 2, which is on the App Store on iPhone, not on iPad or any of those other devices anymore. Which is a shame, because this game was super fun. Honestly, the game, yes, you could get rewards like gems, gold, other kind of stuff to basically level up yourself and all this kind of different stuff. But I keep saying stuff. I don't know. I'm not. Sorry if I'm like this. I'm very tired. But other than that, it was a very fun game. Probably one of the only RPG games I actually enjoyed back in 2017 from 2014. But I don't know when they abandoned the game. That's the only thing. I don't remember the date when they finally decided to get rid of the game and replace it with a sequel for the iPhone. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was better than a video game called Unison League. It was definitely better than that. But in my opinion, I thought it was better than Unison League. Which again, in my personal opinion. But yeah, it was a shame because I had so much progress on it, and it just made me feel good whenever I played that game. I played it 24/7. Not even joking. The hours spent on the game were so much. But yeah. Anyways, for that game, it was definitely something. It was unique in its own way. I'll just put it at that. It was unique. 10 out of 10. Love the game. Wish they did not get rid of it. But you know, capitalism. Yeah, so if you ever played the game, if you ever played those two games, you're a Chad. Absolute Chads, people. What I was gonna say. I'm not good at this. And I'm just being random again. Anyways, yeah. That was one of the very games I used to play back then when it was still around. What made it unique, I felt, is it was very balanced. I felt the game was very balanced. It had good gameplay, a lot of good character development for all the characters. But yeah. Next game is Vainglory. Now, Vainglory, let's just say, it was its own thing, very unique in every way. A lot of times I would play this game in public and people would comment on how they used to play it. And this game was an absolute game. 10 out of 10. What made this game unique was it was basically a battle royale game where a MOBA, meaning it was a mobile online game where you could play as all these different characters. It was basically like League of Legends, but instead of having 5v5, it was a 3v3. So basically, you got to play as all these different characters. They had different abilities. You could play with friends or You could have different skins, like skins for your characters, which was awesome. But then a long time ago, I think it was in 2019? No. 2018 or 17 is when the game died. Like, the community of Vainglory completely abandoned the game and just ruined it. Like, there's no longer any more updates. The game is now filled with a bunch of trolls or a bunch of jerks, a bunch of people who will either leave your team and have you lose on purpose. They will completely abandon you. It's just basically full of toxic people now. Back then, it was an absolute game. I thought it was better than League of Legends, to be honest. But then they soon added updates where now you can play 5v5, which they just made it into a complete ripoff of League of Legends now. Which is kind of pretty terrible. I'm gonna be honest, it was pretty bad. I don't know who decided to let the community take control of Vainglory and ruin the game, but again, capitalism. What are you gonna do? The Apple Store is in it for the money. So, they completely abandoned the game. They completely ruined it. Even though, literally, it was one of the best, probably one of the most unique online mobile games. But, yeah. The game was... It was at its own peak. It was, great. It had its own thing. Unique in its own way, like Brave Frontier. Just... It was great. I'll just say that. It was awesome. And I wish... Now these days, I wish people were more... actually smart. What I mean by I wish people were smart is I wish that the developers or the App Store made smart decisions. As in, if they kept all these games like Infinity Blade, Brave Frontier, and Vainglory, if they kept these games going and didn't give up on them, they'd still get more revenue. They'd still, get more money. And who knows? Maybe people would keep on playing these games before making them completely trash. And just, yeah. It's so sad to see a game that has a lot of potential and that's fun has to go to waste. Because of money. And it's stupid. This is just my opinion. And you can agree with me on this, or you don't have to. It doesn't really matter. I'm just sad that our community now these days only care about money, and that they actually don't care about the enjoyment or the entertainment for people. And it just makes me sad and also pretty mad at the same time. Like, anyways, I should kind of just stop sighing and also doing this. I don't know, it's just all these games, the game industry, I feel like now these days is going down, and they're not doing so well. Aside from actual like fun games, like now like on like the PS5, they're bringing like actually good games, but for the App Store, I just feel like everything's now just the plain same. Nothing on the App Store is fun anymore. Like, all the actual fun games or all the fun apps that used to be on the App Store are just all gone or just have become absolute trash. Like, and so like now all the fun games you can play now on these days is either from Steam or PS4 or the Nintendo Switch. And yes, the game industry has some questionable decisions when making a game. But this is just complete BS. It's all complete BS. I'm in thought right now. Sorry, I'm just angry. Like, it makes me angry when people make a game and then the community abandons it. And then the community ruins it. Like, you put all this effort and energy and all this time into one specific game, and then it just goes downhill. It becomes absolute trash. And you do this so much now. They've done this with Fortnite, they've done this with Among Us, they've done this with Roblox, they've done this with so many popular games that now literally all these games are either filled with toxic people, a bunch of weirdos, a bunch of catfishers, or just a bunch of these people. And they're either all spending their money on ridiculous things to make themselves look cooler, which I don't mind. I'm fine with that, but again, it's just stupid. It's just plain stupid. It's all plain stupid. But yeah. These are my thoughts on the game industry and just like how so many people abuse video games for other things and how people ruin games for others. Like, where's the fun? What happened to having fun now, these days? What has our community, what has our society become now these days? With video games, specifically. It's literally all about money these days. Or just being a total jerk these days. Like, boo! This is why I hate capitalism. And I'm not gonna quit complaining about it. Because I know everything I say is my opinion. And if you don't agree, good for you. But I'm gonna keep my opinion and say how stupid the gaming community has become. Like, what game? Like, for instance, Age of Zombies. This Age of Zombies was also a childhood game of mine. It was abandoned by Apple, or they took it off on the Apple Store, and they put it back on, which was a smart decision. And the developers also knew that I was making a lot of money. Or the developers of Age of Zombies knew that it was bringing joy to their customers, or to their consumers, whichever you want to call it. And I wish they did that with these 3 games. I wish the Apple Store would bring back Brave Frontier, Infinity Blade, and Vainglory, if possible. But nope. They all just had to abandon their games. Which is why these 3 games will always be a treasure. They will always be in my heart, and I will always remember them. But yeah. These are my thoughts. These are all my thoughts on these 3 games that used to be absolute bangers back in the time. In the 2000s. And yeah. Anyways, I'm pretty much done. I'm pretty much done with my rant. So, thank you for listening. And if you have any thoughts about what I said in this video, please leave a comment. I would really love to hear your guys' thoughts on what I had to say in this video. And it would also mean a lot if you subscribed. But that's your choice as well. Yep. And I'm stuck on what to say next, because I felt like I said all I needed to say about this video. And I'm still playing Minecraft, because it's the only game that has never disappointed me in my life. It's the only game that hasn't changed. And that actually has decent people on it. At least I think it does. I guess I'm also just playing Minecraft because it's one of the most popular games in the YouTube algorithm right now. So I think I'm going to be making more YouTube videos about me playing Minecraft, since a lot of people, or a lot of audience, tend to seem more into this game. So, but I also try to finish the rest of my other videos, like all the other video games I started playing for this channel. So, yippee! That was a terrible yippee. And yeah. Anything else I have planned? Afar from my rant, I did a while ago, or a long time ago actually, get to go at not a concert, more of a comedy show. I actually went to see TommyInnit.
It was really just the story of Hamilton, but in Minecraft.
And I have to say, absolute fan of TommyInnit. Loved his performance on how to be a billionaire. I just loved his performance. And I just look up to him a lot. I'm not quite sure if that's weird or not. Or if that's just pretty normal for a fan like me to look up to TommyInnit. Even though I'm literally I'm literally let's see. I'm 4 years older than he is. Yeah. Pretty weird for an adult to look up to a 20 or a 19-year-old. I forgot his age, man. I forgot Tommy Innett's age, man. But yeah. That was fun. I really enjoyed his performance and his friends. So yeah. That's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed my rant. Thank you for watching this video. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!